Maybe I'd run for president. I don't know.
Donald Trump. A journey through life, business, and politics. Early life and family background. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York City, to Frederick Christ Trump and Mary Ann MacLeod Trump. His father was a prominent real estate developer, known for constructing low-income housing, which helped build a substantial family fortune. His mother, who immigrated from Scotland, raised Donald and his 4 siblings in a disciplined household, emphasizing education and hard work. The family lived in a wealthy neighborhood, which afforded Donald exposure to affluence from an early age. Growing up in this environment, Trump developed a keen interest in business and real estate, often accompanying his father to construction sites. This hands-on experience instilled a sense of ambition and entrepreneurship that would later define his career. However, Trump's childhood was not without challenges. He was a bright student but had a contentious relationship with authority figures, which often resulted in conflict. This rebellious spirit would manifest in his later business dealings and political career. Trump attended the New York Military Academy, where he was encouraged to harness his competitive nature. After high school, he enrolled at Fordham University before transferring to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, where he graduated in 1968 with a degree in economics. Wharton was known for its prestigious business program, and Trump's education there equipped him with a solid foundation in finance and management. Entry into business. Following his graduation, Trump joined his father's company, E. Trump & Son, and quickly made a name for himself. In 1971, he took the bold step of moving the company's operations to Manhattan, where he sought to transform it into a major player in the real estate market. One of his first significant projects was the renovation of the dilapidated Commodore Hotel, which he turned into the luxurious Grand Hyatt Hotel. This project marked the beginning of Trump's rise as a real estate mogul. Throughout the 1980s, Trump expanded his portfolio to include high-profile projects such as Trump Tower, which opened in 1983 and became a symbol of his brand. His business acumen was matched by his flair for self-promotion, and he began to dominate the New York City social scene. He was known for his extravagant lifestyle, which included expensive cars, lavish parties, and high-profile relationships. Trump's business strategies often involved leveraging debt to finance his projects, a tactic that proved successful initially but later led to financial troubles. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Trump faced significant challenges, including the bankruptcy of several of his casinos. Despite these setbacks, he managed to bounce back by restructuring his debts and refocusing his brand, wealth and public persona. By the late 1990s, Trump had established himself as a household name, thanks in part to his appearance on the reality television show The Apprentice, which premiered in 2004. The show featured Trump as a business mogul who evaluated contestants vying for a job in his organization. The Apprentice was a massive success and introduced Trump to a broader audience, further solidifying his celebrity status. During this time, Trump's wealth grew exponentially, and he became a self-proclaimed billionaire. He published several books, including The Art of the Deal, which became a bestseller and added to his public persona as a successful businessman. However, the authenticity of his wealth was often scrutinized, with some critics questioning the accuracy of his financial disclosures. Political aspirations and the 2016 election. Trump had long been interested in politics, having supported various candidates over the years. However, it wasn't until 2015 that he announced his candidacy for president as a Republican. His campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again," resonated with many voters who felt disillusioned by the political establishment. He positioned himself as a populist outsider willing to challenge the status quo and represent the interests of ordinary Americans. During the 2016 campaign, Trump's rhetoric was characterized by bold statements and controversial remarks. He promised to build a wall along the US-Mexico border, ban Muslims from entering the country, and renegotiate trade deals to protect American jobs. His unfiltered communication style appealed to a segment of the population that felt unheard and marginalized, despite initial skepticism from political analysts and rivals. Trump secured the Republican nomination and faced off against Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton. In the general election, the campaign was marked by heated debates, social media battles, and unprecedented levels of fundraising and spending. On November 8, 2016, Trump won the election, shocking the world and becoming the 45th President of the United States. Presidency and major policies. Trump's presidency was marked by a series of bold policy decisions and executive orders. He prioritized tax reform, which culminated in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, aimed at stimulating economic growth by reducing corporate tax rates and providing tax cuts for individuals. His administration also focused on deregulation, aiming to eliminate what he deemed excessive government oversight of businesses. One of Trump's most controversial policies was his stance on immigration. He implemented strict measures to curb illegal immigration, including the travel ban targeting several predominantly Muslim countries and the separation of families at the southern border. These actions drew widespread criticism from human rights advocates and sparked nationwide protests. In foreign policy, Trump emphasized an America First approach, questioning long-standing alliances and international agreements. He withdrew the U.S. from the Paris Climate Agreement, citing concerns over economic impacts, and renegotiated trade agreements, notably replacing NAFTA with the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA. His administration also engaged in a high-profile diplomatic effort with North Korea, culminating in historic meetings between Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Scandals and controversies. Trump's presidency was rife with controversies and scandals, many of which fueled divisions in the country. The investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election, led by special counsel Robert Mueller, raised serious questions about Trump's campaign and potential collusion. Although the investigation did not conclude that Trump colluded with Russia, it detailed numerous contacts between his campaign and Russian operatives. In December 2019, Trump became the third president in U.S. history to be impeached by the House of Representatives, charged with abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The charges stemmed from a phone call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, in which Trump was accused of soliciting interference in the 2020 election. The Senate acquitted him in early 2020. But the impeachment further polarized public opinion. Challenges during the pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic presented unprecedented challenges for Trump's presidency. His administration faced criticism for its initial response, with opponents arguing that he downplayed the severity of the virus. As cases surged across the country, Trump's messaging often contradicted public health guidelines, leading to confusion and frustration among citizens. The pandemic's economic fallout resulted in millions of job losses and a historic recession. Trump pushed for rapid economic reopening, emphasizing the need to restore jobs and livelihoods. His administration implemented the Paycheck Protection Program, PPP, to provide financial assistance to businesses. But the effectiveness of the program was widely debated. Post-presidency and political future. After losing the 2020 election to Democratic candidate Joe Biden, Trump refused to concede, making unfounded claims of widespread voter fraud. His attempts to challenge the election results culminated in the January 6, 2021, insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, where his supporters stormed the building in a bid to overturn the election outcome. The incident shocked the nation and led to a second impeachment, making Trump the first president to be impeached twice. Since leaving office, Trump has remained a dominant figure in the Republican Party. He continues to hold rallies and express his influence over Republican candidates. As of now, he has hinted at a potential run for the presidency in 2024, aiming to reclaim the White House. Relations with Pakistan and Imran Khan. Trump's foreign policy also had implications for US-Pakistan relations. Initially, he adopted a critical stance toward Pakistan, accusing it of harboring terrorists. However, His administration later recognized the importance of Pakistan in facilitating peace talks with the Taliban, leading to a U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. This complex relationship was characterized by both tension and cooperation. Imran Khan, the Prime Minister of Pakistan and leader of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf (PTI) party, found common ground with Trump on several issues, including a focus on national sovereignty and anti-terrorism efforts. Khan's government sought to strengthen ties with the U.S. while addressing concerns about the region's stability. Trump's administration also emphasized the need for Pakistan to take decisive action against terrorist groups operating within its borders. Imran Khan and the current political landscape in Pakistan. Imran Khan has been embroiled in legal battles and political strife since his ousting in April 2022. Following his removal from office through a no-confidence vote, Khan has faced a series of legal challenges that many observers and supporters argue are politically motivated. These challenges culminated in his arrest in August 2023 on charges of corruption and conspiracy, leading to widespread protests and unrest among his supporters. Khan's political narrative centers around his fight against corruption and the entrenched political elites, namely the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz (PMLN) and the Pakistan People's Party (PPP). His supporters contend that these parties, in collusion with the military establishment, have systematically targeted Khan and the PTI to undermine their political influence. Allegations of human rights violations, manipulation of the judiciary, and the suppression of dissent have been widely reported, painting a grim picture of the current political climate in Pakistan, U.S. political dynamics and Pakistani influence. In the context of U.S.-Pakistan relations, there has been ongoing speculation regarding the influence of Pakistani Americans and the broader diaspora in American politics. The Pakistani American community, while diverse in its political affiliations, has been active in lobbying for greater attention to human rights issues in Pakistan, especially regarding Khan's imprisonment and the political suppression faced by the PTI. Donald Trump's presidency and potential future candidacy are critical factors in this dynamic. Trump has historically maintained a transactional approach to foreign policy, favoring direct negotiations and personal diplomacy, while Trump's administration was known for its often tumultuous relationships with various nations. His subsequent endorsement by prominent figures in the Pakistani American community has raised questions about whether he might advocate for Khan's release if he were to regain the presidency. The possibility of Trump advocating for Khan should Trump win the 2024 presidential election. It is plausible that he could take a stance on Khan's imprisonment, particularly if there is significant pressure from the Pakistani American community and other advocates for human rights. Trump has shown a willingness to intervene in foreign affairs when it aligns with his political interests or the interests of his supporters. His administration's approach to foreign relations often emphasized the importance of personal relationships, which could lead to a renewed dialogue about the political situation in Pakistan. However, it is essential to recognize that Trump's potential advocacy for Khan would likely depend on various factors, including 1. Political context. The political landscape in both the US and Pakistan will significantly influence Trump's actions. If there is a perceived benefit to his administration from supporting Khan, he may be inclined to do so. Conversely, if it appears politically advantageous to align with the current Pakistani government, he may choose to prioritize those relationships instead. 2. Geopolitical considerations. The US has strategic interests in South Asia, particularly concerning Afghanistan, India, and counter-terrorism efforts. Trump's decisions may be guided by how best to achieve these goals rather than solely on human rights considerations. If engaging with Khan is viewed as beneficial to US interests in the region, he may advocate for his release. 3. Public pressure. The influence of the Pakistani American community and human rights organizations could play a crucial role in shaping Trump's stance. If there is a strong push from constituents, it might sway his administration's policies toward advocating for Khan's release. 4. International relations. Trump's approach to international relations has historically favored direct engagement and personal diplomacy. If he believes that advocating for Khan could lead to a favorable outcome in US-Pakistan relations, he may take that route. While there is no definitive indication that Donald Trump will advocate for Imran Khan's release, should he win the 2024 election, the possibility exists, particularly if influenced by the Pakistani American community and the broader human rights discourse. The political landscape in Pakistan, characterized by allegations of human rights abuses and judicial manipulation, paints a complex picture for any U.S. president seeking to navigate these waters. In this context, Trump's potential involvement could serve as a pivotal moment for Khan's political future, especially given the current administration's stance towards the PTI and the suppression of dissenting voices. Ultimately, the intersection of American politics and Pakistani realities will shape the narrative surrounding Khan, his imprisonment, and the future of US-Pakistan relations. Controversial statements and policies. Throughout his career, Trump has made numerous controversial statements that have drawn criticism. His remarks about immigrants, minorities, and women have sparked backlash and accusations of racism and misogyny. In foreign policy, his unpredictable approach raised concerns among allies and adversaries alike, as he often eschewed diplomatic norms in favor of a more confrontational style. Trump's policies on military intervention were marked by a desire to withdraw U.S. troops from long-standing conflicts, such as those in Afghanistan and Syria. He often criticized what he termed endless wars, and sought to prioritize American interests over international commitments. This stance resonated with many voters who were fatigued by decades of military engagement in the Middle East. Conclusion: the path ahead. As Trump navigates his post-presidency phase, his legacy remains a topic of intense debate. Supporters argue that he revitalized the American economy, prioritized national security, and championed a populist agenda that resonated with many voters. Critics contend that his divisive rhetoric and controversial policies undermined democratic norms and exacerbated social tensions. Whether he will run for president again in 2024 remains uncertain, but his influence on the Republican Party and American politics is undeniable. Trump's journey, from a businessman to a reality television star and ultimately a president, reflects a unique narrative that continues to shape the political landscape in the United States. Final thoughts. In analyzing Trump's life and career, it is crucial to understand the broader context of American politics and society. His presidency exemplifies the complexities of a nation grappling with identity, values, and the role of government. As we move forward, Trump's impact will undoubtedly continue to resonate, sparking discussions about leadership, populism, and the future of democracy.